All right, today we're going to take a look at a game that I like called Plastic Lizards. Just kidding. Today, we're going to look at another video about organizing stuff. I keep seeing it pop up on the webs and things, and I figured I'd do a take. So this is from the bulk commons and uncommons that I have not put into my collection because I already have a sufficient number of them, or they're worth less than my keep number, which is 15 cents. Don't ask. It's totally random and it's stupid, but hey, 15 cents is 15 cents. So what I do with these, all these, and these cards go into those little cheap Pioneer, Modern, what a penny decks. You can, they're called Pauper, So, but what I do is basically I sort by color, and then by type, and then by mana value. All right, so that's the way I do it. These are this is my enchantment box. See, they're all one drop. All right, these are all going to be enchantments, I believe. I try to keep it one box per thing, and at the back's the 5-drop enchantment. Enchanted creature gets -4/-4, surveil. But that's what I do for that. So that's the enchantments. And mind you, that's just enchantments. It gets, sillier when the wizard gets involved. My cats love those. And what we got here, and kind of try to keep it labeled so I know what I'm looking at. So we got black lands, black artifact creatures, black instants at mana value 1 and 2, and black what the heck is that? But again, sorted by color, then by type. Oh, black planeswalkers. So of course, the only time you're going to see that is from Aura of the Spark, or as a list card. How about that? You can get that for free. Black planeswalkers, your black lands, which of course don't have mana value, and just a ton of these Dross Pits and Desert of the Glorifieds from Alan Kit. Starnheim from Kaldheim, Hidden Necropolis, Witch's Cottage from the Eldraine. Then you got your, those battles, which were, one of my favorite cards. I love these battle things, man. Hopefully they'll come out with them some more, but who knows. And your black, like I said, black artifacts, again, sorted by mana value, things like that. So it goes on and on and on. And, one drop instance, Whisper of the Dross, things like that. All the down to 2 drops, Subtle Strike, which is from Battle for Zendikar. Not Battle for Zendikar. Return to the Return of Zendikar. And so on and so forth. And, the whole plan, because, all 5 basic colors, then all, the multicolored ones, then you got your artifacts, and you got your artifact creatures, colorless, all that stuff. Those are all separated now. In a perfect world, these would all be scanned in and somehow all matching each other depending on what ability they have, whether it's a thug. I call any creature without any abilities just plain old power and toughness. Those are thugs to me. They don't do anything else. What are they good for? Well, absolutely nothing, unless they got flying. Now that's a different story. Vampires, things like that are always good. But that's the way I do organize it. And that's, just in case I'm sitting there and I just happen to stumble upon a card when I'm, taking a look at these bulk, that, hey, I'll make a deck out of this. And then, I can find what I'm looking for, whether it's removal, whether it's something that buffs up the, a creature, whether it's something that, that's the way, I stumbled upon I didn't, obviously not by myself. Plenty of people probably did it, but, the cards that are back in Foundations, where, a creature comes in, you gain 1 life, Blood Priest damages the opponent because you're gaining life, back and forth, a life gain deck that's damaging the opponent at the same time. That was just, all right, well, it gives me life gain, and what else frickin' hurts the opponent, So it's, definitely something that, you're looking at the cards, then you're trying to figure out what can I make with this. That's why almost, nearly every card in Magic has some sort of value, whether it's a penny or, or more. Everything has its value. You can make a deck out of these things, just, all right, you can even make brawl decks and commander decks out of straight up bulk like this. Provided you got a commander that's, you got to find a legendary card that's single color, and you don't mind making a black commander deck or a blue commander deck or whatever. But some of them are useful. A lot of these bulk are where the removal comes from. Blue bulk, that's where you get a lot of counter spells and stuff like that. So that's what I do to organize my bulk. So when I get to the point where I'm tired of even looking at these, then do I go to the local game store and put the damage on them and say, hey, here's a bunch of stuff I don't want anymore. I don't want to do that at the poor game store. I've been in the one downtown, and those guys got bulk forever. Why would I go to them and say, here's a bunch more bulk you need to take care of? I feel bad for them. So, when I get tired of doing this here in probably a couple of years, I'll just keep my collection and, free to good home, preferably if I can meet you in a public place and drop this off to you instead of mailing pounds of cards to you. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Hit like, hit subscribe, give me some suggestions. Anyway, that's all I got for today. We'll see you.